everybody. We are back with a brand new episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. We are your laughter on the way to school. I know you're about to have a stressful day. Maybe you already had one, and we're here to hopefully shed some laughter through the tears. I am Devin Siebold. I'm your host. I've got my buddy, Mr. James Yan.
Good to be here.
And James is a parent. You're a parent. You got some kids. And
I have 4.
I'm a parent. I've got some kids. I don't know totals, but...
you didn't teach math.
Right.
Got it.
But I was a teacher, and this is the podcast where we kind of talk a little bit about parent issues, the teacher issues, and go over those. Now, we are obviously presented by Board Teachers. Check us out online, all of the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the MySpaces. And don't forget also patreon.com/cryinginmycar for bonus content as well. You can subscribe over there. Now, James, we also invite people to send in their stories about what's going on in your school.
Absolutely, yeah.
And trust me, I've seen some doozies. I've seen some ones that I'm like, come on, man, you're making that up. But the craziness of teaching, I know they probably aren't making it up. But I got some stories.
Okay.
And one of them recently, I decided that I screenshotted it. I said, I have to bring this onto the podcast. It's so absurd, so wild. And I know that you are a corporate world type of guy.
I am.
And I don't think this would fly even in the corporate world, okay?
Okay, I can't wait to hear
I'm going to read
this.
this story. Now, this is from a teacher.
Okay.
And I'm going to read it word for word what she sent in. She said, I don't know if you guys would be interested in my story or what you do with it, but here it goes. I was a first-year special education teacher.
Right, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
For even jumping into special education at
Not
all.
easy.
First
Yeah.
year, a lot on your plate. Okay. I lived an hour away from my school that I happily drove to every day. Are you kidding?
An hour.
An hour. While also being a single mom of 3.
Okay, one more time.
What?
Clap for that.
First year, special education, single mom of 3, driving an hour to and from school. You're
Already superhero.
Yeah, already superhero for sure. And I wanted this job really bad, so that's why she chose. She wanted to work there. Put in hours of unpaid time getting my classroom ready, as well as hundreds of dollars that I didn't have in school supplies, and that's pretty par for the course. Nothing unusual here. I mean, it's not that it's right. It's just not unusual. The Friday before the first day of school, so school is starting on Monday. They've been working in their classrooms.
Okay.
I get my schedule from my principal and my process coordinator, and I look at it, and I see that I am not given a lunch break or a planning period. No lunch break, no planning period.
I heard you right.
Work the entire day, beginning to end, no break. Now,
wow.
Yeah. When I asked them about it, they shrugged and told me to lean on my assistant. So as a special ed teacher, they get an assistant, a para, possibly, in the classroom. I don't know how this particular school does it. Now, she says, legally, my assistant cannot be alone in the classroom with the students. So when am I supposed to use the restroom, let alone eat or do any paperwork? So they can't even leave the classroom. You can't lean on the assistant if the assistant is legally not allowed to be in there by themselves. She says, I cried all weekend about it, and probably in their car.
Yes.
And then I emailed my principal to tell her I would not be at work and could not work for a district that did not value me enough to at least give me a break because I quit. James, okay, but before I get into that, are you mad?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to take you to the next level.
Okay.
We're going to turn it to 11. Because I quit, the district is charging me $3,000 as a penalty for breaking my contract and will not be paying me for the time that I was there. I've contacted everyone I can think of, and nobody thinks that anything can be done. Well, you have contacted Crying in My Car.
Yes, you have.
For teachers, and I'm outraged. I read that, and normally I get the messages and I go, I've seen that. I've heard that, I know that it's a shock to you, but that's kind of the way the system works. This one, I don't think that's legal.
Of course it's not legal. There's no job in America where you can give someone they're working 8 hours and you don't give them a break or a lunch.
Right.
Okay. They can't even go to the bathroom.
No, cannot use the restroom and no lunch break. I mean, legally, I don't think there's a single state that you can't provide a lunch break.
Even in China when kids are making iPhones.
Yeah.
They get a break.
Yeah. In fact, that message she sent me came across their iPhone, and they were like, "What? No way." Well, I wanted to go to America, but no way. No,
you know what, guys?
thank you.
It's not so bad here.
Yeah, they don't even give the teachers lunch breaks. No lunch break.
But how can they legally say that though? Like, it sounds outrageous.
You know, and this is the thing. They take away lunch break and they call it duty and say everybody has to do a lunch duty. But even in some schools, it's like you have to do a lunch duty. You have to work the lunch, but you only have to do it like 9 weeks out of the year, out of the entire time. So
Understood.
You're working 1/4 of the year.
Yes.
But I always disagree with that too. I think there needs to be something else. Why are we the ones that are supposed to do this duty and watch these kids? You hire people to do this.
Absolutely.
This should be somebody's job to monitor the lunch. If you hire 15 lunch personnel to work the lunch, why can't you hire 20 and have 5 of them be watching?
Yes.
And they can rotate out.
Gotcha.
You know, and say, okay, that you work for lunch. You during the day you're prepping. As soon as we go to serve lunch, you are monitoring the students for the entire lunch break.
That would make sense.
would
And you're
make sense.
thinking logically, that's where
Logic
you went
does not
wrong.
apply here,
No,
yeah.
sir. Never.
But I can't imagine that's not. I mean, it's one thing to say, oh, I can take this to my union. I think you can take this to labor representatives. I think you can take this to,
there's some labor laws that have to be broken.
Yeah, I mean, isn't there what is it, the not ACLU, but there's a labor like organization like the NAACP that will actually work for you for this. This is a lawsuit.
Yeah. I can't go to the bathroom and I can't have lunch.
Yeah, 2 words, lawsuit, which is one word actually. So take your suit of law and file a one-word lawsuit.
I can imagine this poor woman going to someone saying, hey, guys, it looks like you're not giving me a lunch. And they're like, 2 words for you. Colostomy bag.
Oh my.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
But this is my question. Do they get a lunch break?
Yes!
Do you think that
Absolutely they get a lunch break.
Do you think administration can use the restroom whenever they want?
Yes, they do.
Do you think that they can eat whenever they want?
Yes, they do.
Of course they can.
Yes.
And I wouldn't. I mean, I would just walk in there. You're eating your lunch. Oh, sorry, you don't get lunch. But I'm the principal. I get lunch. Oh, you know what? Lean on your assistant, principal. Lean on your assistant because this is not your time.
No.
I don't know, man. I read that and my blood boiled. And plus, this is a thing we're not talking about. The biggest part of this, you had a first year special education, major shortage of special education teachers.
Absolutely.
Driving an hour
To be there.
with 3 kids.
Yes.
That is dedication.
She wanted to be there.
She's gone now.
Yeah, she's
Do
done.
those kids have another teacher?
No.
Most likely not.
No.
Most likely they never filled that position. And now you have an assistant literally running the class when legally they probably shouldn't be running the class. And it's just you're stepping on the toes of good teachers that want to be there to work.
I've never been a teacher. I mean, I was one for a short period of time called, pandemic.
Yeah.
But why does this keep occurring to you guys? And why does no one do anything about it? Why does it just seem like the norm? Because all I hear is horror stories.
Yeah. And so I don't think this is my interesting analysis of this. I think that it used to be you had a school and you had a principal of that school and you had teachers.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of was under this blanket of we're under the principal. The principal, we either like them or we don't like them, but they ran the school as if that's how they wanted.
Makes sense.
What you have now is a pressure from politicians at the very top that are literally putting political allies in higher education positions who are putting pressure on school districts and then are applying the pressure onto the principals who then apply the pressure onto the teachers. So what you have is this big old Princess and the Pea of 6 levels of mattress squeezing down, and where the little pea at the bottom
the bottom of the level is all the teachers with no resources, no help.
Yeah, and that's what I think. I think it's because every single my mom has had a problem with this school district. She has had an issue, and she didn't like something that they did to her, and so she went and talked to the district. And what did you think the district had to say?
They said, "We hear what you're saying. We're gonna help you and get you what you need right now."
You know, James, it's like you were there. It's like you were there.
Yeah.
No, they said, it's not us. It's the state. And the state has told us what to do. But nobody steps in. No. That's the problem, is everybody's so scared. Nobody is going to step in and go, you know what? That's not right. A real principal would have stepped in and said, you're kidding me. No lunch break?
That makes no sense.
No bathroom break?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not okay.
No.
Let me get with the scheduling department. We got to change this. Even if it means that I can't fulfill a need that I need to fulfill, but that's not how we work now.
No.
We've become a selfish society where everybody tries to absorb their own job is the most important thing, not the job of the people below them. But we're forgetting the people below you make you who you are.
Right.
That principal is probably regretting that decision right now.
Okay, because somebody has to go in that classroom.
And somebody has to go.
Yeah.
And they don't have anybody to go there. So now they're like, oh, man. But that's the thing is again, this is where we mess up as a society. I say the principal is regretting that, but you know what's truthful about this, James?
God, what?
Don't you think that there is, as we are as people nowadays, don't you think that person is not, oh my gosh, what did I do? It's, look at what she left me.
Yes.
Look at what she left me.
Look what she did.
Look at what she did.
She wanted a break.
She ruined my day.
Yes, she did.
She
How
ruined
dare you?
our, and then you go next door and you go, can you cover this class? You're not going to believe what she did. Mm-hmm. She left because she is oh my gosh.
And I know we joke about it, but as a parent, what I'm hearing is this is a problem that's not going to get solved, and we're just going to keep losing good teachers.
You're going to lose a lot of good teachers. We've already lost so many good teachers, and it's just getting worse. I mean, I see all the time messages and people going, oh, I'm thinking about leaving. I want to leave. I want to get out. And it's good teachers. And the problem also is not only do you have the good teachers leaving, the teachers that are staying that are good teachers have started counting the days. They are going, it's no longer, it's shifted. We used to have teachers go, yep, I've been teaching 37 years. Mm-hmm. And that was it. That was the proclamation. Look at me. I'm so accomplished. I've taught 37 years. I'm so happy, so proud. And now you have them go, hey, yeah, I've been teaching 37 years, and I am 3 years away from retirement, and it cannot get here soon enough.
Jesus.
You know, they have that
switch.
Counting down the seconds. I don't want to be here.
Well, allow me to warn America right now. If you keep dumping on teachers, you don't treat them right, don't give them resources, don't pay them right, you're going to go back to having us teach kids. Nobody wants that.
Nobody.
Trust me, as a parent, I don't want that.
I just said lawsuit is 2 words. Do you want that? Do you want that for your children? America.
America.
Yeah.
You don't need an A at the front.
Yeah. 3 words. America. Do you know what you're doing?
You don't want this face teaching any children.
You don't.
Trust me.
All right. Now I got a really good teachers in the news. I got quite a few of them, so let's go ahead and jump straight into the teachers in the news.
Okay.
This one is a positive story, so I like to counter the
take
negative. I like to counter the negative. Oh, by the way, before we jump into the teachers in the news, I do want to help that teacher out.
How do we help?
So I just want to say, if you know of an organization like we've been discussing that could possibly take on her case, possibly help her out. I mean, I hate to say lawsuit, but I think that's a lawsuit.
That's very much a lawsuit.
If you know somebody that can do that, reach us out. Reach out to us, Crying in My Car. You know, we need to put her in contact with the people that can get her job back, because she wants to teach.
She does.
I don't want the students that, to be deprived, and I don't think she needs to be deprived of what she has a passion for.
I think students would want a teacher like that. We should call people who deal with injustice every day.
Yeah.
The Avengers.
The Avengers. I'm down.
There you go.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump into the teachers of the news again. This one is a positive story. This one I see a lot of, and I thought in my head, just another one of those. I don't know why I clicked on it, but a local, I'm giving them a national shout out here, a local coffee place, Bigby Coffee, Biggby, Bigby Coffee in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Nice.
Has a monthly teacher of the month. And apparently you can nominate teachers with Bigby Coffee. Each month they're surprising local teachers across West Michigan. If that's you're in West Michigan. Or if you are in West Michigan traveling through, stop at Bigby Coffee, because they are surprising them with recognition. You can nominate someone, they pick someone, and get this. I thought, because Chipotle gives you, buy a bowl, get a bowl.
They do.
Starbucks might do. You can get a free upgrade from a venti, to a venti, whatever.
After you spend $5,000.
Yeah. James, what do you think they're giving Bigby Coffee? is giving these teachers?
They're probably giving them some free coffee for
$500.
What? Boom. $500? $500, bro.
That's like 6 Starbucks coffees.
No, 5. But yes, still $500, $500.
Yeah, $500.
Everybody can use that.
That's the thing. I normally click on those, and I'm always like, oh, they gave him a certificate.
Yeah.
You know, oh, they reckon $500.
That's a lot of money
For a local coffee joint to be helping out teachers like that. So, I mean, and that's you get a teacher of the month. They're doing it for the whole school year.
You know what? First off, bravo to that place for doing that.
Big B Coffee, yeah.
Big B,
Again,
that's awesome.
Not a sponsor, just they want to
do something
helping out
nice.
teachers. That's
God
pretty
bless
cool.
that, man.
That's pretty cool. All right, this is we got another one, another kind of shot in the arm here for teachers, maybe in the jaw.
Okay.
To address teacher shortages, Tennessee is going to step in and you know what they're going to do, James?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
They're going to step in and do what?
You think they're going to pay them more?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, no. You think they're going to give them restroom breaks?
That would be awesome.
Not happening?
No.
You think they're going to give them extra planning periods?
That would be great too.
Nope.
Okay.
To address the teacher shortage, Tennessee is going to drop their major test for all teacher candidates. You no longer have to pass the test to become a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, in the first of 2 votes, apparently they approved dropping their EdTPA, a licensing test required currently of 900 job-embedded candidates who are apparently about to, they're trying to get through the teacher pipeline. They have decided that this pathway lets people with non-teaching bachelor degrees work as a classroom teacher, and they've decided we're just going to go ahead and put them in the classroom. And
okay, Devin, here's what the problem is. So you're not looking at this the right way.
Yeah.
Why would you need a teacher to pass a test to let you know they're certified to teach kids?
Yeah, why would we want to know that they have the qualifications for the children in the building? Why would we want to know? Yes, I mean they're
there for a reason.
Yeah, and let me tell you, as a person who took and passed the test, I found that the general education test that I had to take and pass in the state of Florida was common sense. I don't mean to say that to negate people that did not pass it, because it was common sense to me as a person who went through a full-on teaching program.
Yes.
I got my degree in secondary education of social sciences. So I had been ingrained for 4 years with all the things you do and don't do as a teacher. So when I got to that point, it was things that I had already learned, things that I was familiar with. I could do this in the class, don't do that. Report this, don't report that. There's things people don't know.
Okay.
And so these tests are not necessarily, are you smart enough? It's are you adult enough to have a room full of children at your disposal? What happens, James, when a kid comes up to you and says, I have a bruise, mommy did it? You know, what's that?
Wow. Okay.
What's that?
Gotcha.
That's happened in my classroom. I've had abuse instances. I've had things I've had to report. I've had things that I knew I had a responsibility to tackle. I've had things that I knew were outside of my jurisdiction as a teacher that I needed to tell administration. You don't go straight to, and I've had to follow up with those, in my own ethics of my own, mind.
I totally get it.
And in our ethics standards too, I need to make sure that they're being handled appropriately. The kid is, doing, but that's stuff that you learn while you're in college. So these kids are not going to college. They are not taking this test, and you want them in the class now. And we go, oh, I think we're going to get an entirely different teachers in the news pretty soon.
And unrelated news in Tennessee also, they're not requiring people to be doctors to have a medical degree.
No, not at all. You want to do surgery? Do you have a Gensu knife? You do? Okay, awesome.
You're in. There you go.
Yeah. Do you know where the heart is? Left or right? When I say the pledge? Yeah, that's it. You're in. You're good.
You're asking for trouble now. You're asking for people
James, you said it on stage, so I know I can make fun of it now.
Yes.
But imagine if you're about to go under and the guy that's about to do your vasectomy goes, so what is this again? And you're like, what?
Are we here for tonsils?
Do I need to take both of them off or just one? You're like, what?
No. I don't need it. I can have more kids. It's fine.
That's what we're doing.
Yes.
It's just
That's funny.
Come on, we got to put professionals in the classroom, but that's also coming with what we discussed last episode. Expectations.
Yes.
We got to have higher expectations, not only for the students but for the teachers.
Not for Tennessee.
The teachers have got to have. We got to have high expectations, and we'll rise to them. You just got to have them. All right, second to last one. This is an interesting one. Former math teacher explains why some students are good at math and others lag behind. Do you think you know that one?
Why some? Well, isn't it at home? Like getting help when they need it and they don't get it at home?
Could be. I mean, I do find that home life, not necessarily. And I say home life like, teachers or parents that are there.
Yes. Active parenting is what I mean.
Active parents, sure. Active parenting could help, but there's a main reason why a lot of students are lagging behind in math. Math scores, by the way, tanked over the past 2 years.
Gotcha.
And they know why. Now, are you good at math?
I'm okay at math. I'm not. My son, Devin, got a perfect in math on his SAT.
Interesting.
Like he
That's
is
huge.
Woo! Yeah, that's not easy. Yeah.
That is insane.
That's his mother.
Yeah. That is.
Yeah.
Now, they say math is actually not what you think it is. And what I mean by that is math is a lot of numbers on a paper.
Yes, it
and
is.
A lot of formulas.
Yes, equations.
But the reason students are lagging so far behind in math, they've come to the conclusion, is visuals. They are not getting visual representation. It's being told to them how to do equations. We often joke about if such and such has 4 apples and such has 5 apples, how many apples do they have? When you learn that in school, you're envisioning somebody carrying apples.
Absolutely.
It's a visual equation.
It makes sense.
If somebody just put, for a kindergarten student, 5 plus 4, and we expect them to know that right off the bat without giving them a visual of somebody carrying 5 apples and 4 apples, that's where we are lagging behind. They say that Zoom ruined math for the students.
You mean when they had us parents?
Yeah, well, that too. But it became, because it was matter of fact through there's not a lot of visual representation. I'm
a visual learner.
Yeah,
That's how
too.
I learn.
I had a teacher that was, and when I say strict, this teacher, we came in, and I'm telling you right now, James, every class, we came in, we sat down. We took out our homework. She came down the aisle, looked it over, graded it, and then she went up onto the whiteboard and or the overhead projector.
Tells me bring that back. Yeah,
and overhead projector, and she went section by section in the book. It was section 5.2. We are going to be discussing this, and she told us how to do the problem. She did one example. You work on your own every day.
Woo.
No visuals, no drawing on the board.
Nothing.
No word problems. Strictly numbers. I struggled. I am a visual learner.
Absolutely.
Most people, when it comes to math, visual learners.
I have to see it.
Zoom didn't do well for these kids.
No, not at all, man.
Yeah,
no.
so that's why. It's apparently because we're not visualizing it. We're not using visuals with this math.
So bring the apples back.
Bring the apples back. It says, once schools shifted to remote learning, teachers didn't have many ways to keep students engaged. No hands-on activities.
Nope.
Think about counting number blocks and stuff like that. Project-based learning not happening. And so basically students were left to struggle with math. So direct instruction apparently statistically only works for 20% of students. Teaching math is visual. The last one that's going to lead us into our final top 10 here. This one is an Alabama school.
Okay.
An Alabama school. Alabama's superintendent of education and the governor have apparently began Teacher Appreciation Month. They have kicked it off with a presentation where 2 Carver students, that's the school, were honored. They honored their teachers. They get to honor their teachers. So
I like it so far.
Honored their teachers, and they gave away, at the teacher celebration, they gave away 2 tickets to the Iron Bowl to an Alabama teacher for being going above and beyond. And I thought to myself, you know what? Why have pay raises? I mean, when you can go to the Iron Bowl. James, I sat there and I was like, 2 tickets to the Iron Bowl. What a rip.
Yeah.
Then I looked up tickets to the Iron Bowl. James, how much you paying to get into the stadium in the Iron Bowl?
in Alabama.
Nosebleeds, top row. What you looking at?
Man, $20.
$370 per ticket.
Are you serious?
Per ticket.
At the top?
$370.
Nose bleeding.
Yep. And no Lady Gaga at halftime.
No.
$370. And I was like, well, actually, that's a pretty good, yeah. I'm not lying. Probably would scalp them myself.
Oh, yeah.
Sell them.
Definitely, I'm scalping those. Yes, man.
But, I was like, that's crazy.
Gotcha. And I provide you with tissues for the nosebleed.
Yeah.
There you go.
I couldn't believe it. At first I thought that's kind of crazy, but then I saw it and I was like, that's very Alabama.
I was going to say, does it surprise you at all it's Alabama?
It absolutely does not.
No.
And that's why I am concluding this episode with our top 10 signs you know you're teaching in Alabama. Now, before I start this list, all hate mail can go to James Young Comedian on Instagram.
Pretty much.
And because I know this one's going to make some people mad.
Not like I was running to Alabama.
Now,
but yeah.
I've performed in Alabama recently. Wonderful crowd,
Got
great people. You know what? Rife for jokes. Let's be real.
Okay.
And I'm from Florida, so I can do this list because I know you make fun of us equally as much as we make fun of you.
We love you, Alabama.
We love Alabama. You own part of our panhandle. You don't even know it.
That's true.
I'm telling you, it's part Alabama. Number 10, distance learning for science is easy in Alabama because the kids have their own meth labs at home. Tell you, it's real easy. You're gonna grab that Bunsen burner right behind you, and don't mix that one. Number 9, the schools allow smoke breaks out at recess.
Nice.
Teachers can take one too.
You forgot Copenhagen.
Slow burner. Yeah, Copenhagen. That's true. Yeah. Number 8, there, and there is taught by pointing at places they protested desegregation. Right there, and there. So that one's going to get us some hate mail. That one, sorry about that one, Alabama.
I almost stood up on that one.
You did.
Yeah.
Number 7, you practice your ABCs with the sole purpose of passing your roadside DUI test.
There you go.
They're like, listen, son, you're going to need to know these, all right? A few Michelob Ultras, Sheriff Wayne, he's going to stop you.
Yeah.
And then you go, I got it.
But here's the thing when I teach it, we're going to learn it forwards and backwards. There you go.
Number 6, field trips are to Tennessee so the kids can see what running water looks like. Oh man, there are so many.
Devin.
Yeah, we were sponsored by board teachers. Number 9, it's roll tide on Saturday and roll in tide after PE. That's telling you. Number 4, working parent pickup is just that, one parent in a pickup. I'm here for the neighborhood.
Y'all get in the back.
Get in the back. Number 3, if a fight breaks out, you have to decide if the student lost their teeth because of the fight or if that was how they went into it. Because that's, hey, where are your front teeth? Oh, I didn't have. All right.
4 out of 5 dentists would agree in Alabama.
You know what's funny is I know there's people from Alabama that were like in the beginning going, I can take this. And right now they're like, this show is trash. Number 2, you aren't allowed to teach siblings preferential treatment. However, obviously, it would help out your sister. But in Alabama, the loophole is she's also your aunt. There's nothing against that. Nothing against that. Yeah. And the number one way you know you're a teacher in Alabama is the staff get off for Memorial Day, Labor Day, and Kid Rock's birthday. Yeah. Look, I don't care what religion you are, but here we bow to the bull god.
We sure do. Like the good Lord intended.
Like the good Lord intended. Kid Rock, I'm telling you. Oh, man. So anyways, hate mail, James Young Comedian at Instagram. And no, thank you. Alabama, we love you.
We do.
You make up 1/100th of our listening population.
There you go.
We thank you so much.
Couldn't do without you.
Couldn't do without you. But anyways, thank you again for tuning in to Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. Now you can check me out, devincomedy.com for upcoming tour dates. And also I do speaking engagements at schools. I know a lot of you are booking those, and I get offers all the time, and I might come to your school. So if you want that, message your administrator, say that, hey, this funny guy on the podcast, love to have him come speak. Here I am. We also got James Yan.
I coincidentally cannot go speak at schools or ordered. So,
By the way, Alabama, I know that you're not letting me speak at your schools now.
words, we don't like those. You guys can definitely follow me at James Yan Comedian on Instagram. Please follow me on Facebook as well. I need all the what do we call them?
Followers.
No, co-signers.
Yes, that too.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for letting me.
Thanks so much for tuning in to the
Love
podcast. And we'll be back next week with a brand new episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers.